Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever stopped to truly consider the incredible journey of the threads that make up, well, everything? Your clothes, your furniture, even like the screens on your windows.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It's a whole world of science, art, and innovation woven right into the fabric of our lives. We interact with textiles constantly.
Every single day.
From the moment we wake up in our sheets, the clothes we wear, the seats in our cars, our homes. But how often do we really think about what that favorite shirt is actually made of, or how that cozy blanket came to be?
Exactly. Textiles are so ubiquitous, just everywhere. Yet the underlying principles, the processes behind them, they're often taken for granted.
Yeah.
We touch them, sit on them, wear them constantly, often without a second thought about their intricate origins.
Totally.
So this deep dive is really about pulling back those layers, understanding not just what fabrics are, but how they're born, and, crucially, why they behave the way they do. It reveals this hidden complexity that's, honestly, surprisingly captivating.
I'm already hooked. So our mission today is to take this stack of information on textiles. We're talking core definitions, how they're classified, the ingenious ways they're made, and those specialized finishes.
The final touches.
Exactly. And extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight. We want to give you a shortcut, a way to be truly well-informed about the material world that's literal all around you.
Get ready for some surprising facts, I think.
Oh, yeah. And maybe a few genuine aha moments. Things that might change how you look at your laundry basket, or your couch, or even, like you said, your car seats, forever. So to really get this, to understand the magic of fabrics, we have to start right at the beginning, the smallest parts.
Makes sense.
We hear terms like textile, fabric, and cloth used pretty much interchangeably in everyday conversation. But is there actually a specific difference, like a hierarchy, or a particular meaning for each one?
That's an excellent place to start, yeah. Because clarifying these core definitions, it really establishes the foundation for everything else we'll discuss. So when we talk about a textile, we're referring to any manufactured material made of interlacing fibers. That's the broadest term. It's the umbrella category for anything woven, knitted, felted, you name it.
Got it. The big family name.
Pretty much. Then a fabric is a cloth that's produced specifically by knitting, weaving, or felting fibers. So fabric is a type of textile. It's distinguished by how it's made.
Okay, so method specific.
Exactly. It's a bit like saying a vehicle versus a car. A car is a specific kind of vehicle, right?
Right, that helps.
And finally, cloth often refers to a finished piece of fabric, material that's been prepared and is intended for a specific purpose. It implies it's ready to use, like a bolt of cloth for curtains or maybe a cleaning cloth.
Ah, okay, so it's like job ready.
You could say that. So while all cloths are fabrics and all fabrics are textiles, not all textiles are necessarily cloths or fabrics in that narrow finished sense. It's a precise hierarchy. It helps us differentiate the raw material, the construction method, and the final application.
That clicks. Textile, broad category, fabric, how it's made, cloth, finished product for use. Perfect. Now let's go even smaller. Before textiles, fabrics, cloths, we need fibers. What exactly is a fiber, this fundamental building block?
A fiber is the absolute basic element, the starting point. Imagine it as a single, incredibly thin, kind of hair-like strand. That's your fiber.
Okay.
It's the starting point for every single yarn and every fabric we encounter. And what's fascinating, really, is that these fibers get categorized primarily by their length.
Length. Seriously.
Yeah, length. And believe it or not, that profoundly impacts the characteristics of the final fabric.
How does something as simple as length make such a big difference in, like, the feel and performance?
It's crucial because it dictates how the fibers can be spun into yarn. And that, in turn, affects everything from softness to strength, durability, even sheen sometimes.
Wow.
We basically have two main categories based on length. First, there are staple fibers. These are shorter fibers, typically, a few millimeters up to maybe a few centimeters long.
Right.
When they're processed, they're arranged somewhat randomly, and then they get twisted together to produce yarns. Think of a fluffy cotton ball. Those are individual short staple fibers. When you spin them, you get a yarn with lots of tiny fiber ends sticking out. That creates a soft, maybe slightly fuzzy feel, like your favorite worn-in t-shirt or a cozy flannel blanket.
Okay, so soft, maybe a bit fuzzy. Got it. What's the other type?
The other category is filament fibers. These are long, continuous strands, sometimes stretching for hundreds, even thousands of yards.
Whoa.
When they're processed, they're laid parallel to each other and then tightly twisted. This produces very smooth, very strong yarns with minimal protruding ends. Imagine a single, smooth silk thread shimmering.
Yeah, okay.
It's a natural filament fiber. This distinction, staple versus filament, it fundamentally dictates the feel and the strength of the yarn and the resulting fabric. It's really the very first decision point in a long chain of material properties that define how a textile will look, feel, and perform.
So shorter staple fibers, more ends sticking out, gives you that soft, fuzzy feel, like a sweater.
Exactly. Think fuzzy sweater. But the longer filament fibers, they lie smoothly parallel, leading to a sleek, strong yarn. Like in athletic wear where you want durability and you definitely don't want pilling.
That's incredibly insightful. So fibers are these hair-like strands categorized by length, and that length kind of sets their destiny. What happens next? How do these individual fibers become something continuous and, usable?
That's where yarn comes in. Yarn is formed precisely by twisting those fibers together. It achieves that continuous strand you need. It's the essential intermediate step between the raw fibers and a usable fabric.
Okay.
And just like fibers, yarns have categories that tie directly back to their fiber origins. They maintain that initial characteristic right from the fiber level.
So if we have staple fibers and filament fibers, do we have staple yarns and filament yarns? Is it that simple?
Yes, pretty much. We have spun yarns, which are made directly from those staple fibers twisted together.
Right.
This reinforces the connection. Short staple fibers lead to spun yarns, which generally result in a softer, often fuzzier feel in the final fabric.
Okay.
Then we have filament yarns. These are made from either spinnerite-generated synthetic fiber. Think of how a machine pushes liquid polymer through tiny holes, creating a continuous, extremely long strand.
Like making spaghetti.
Sort of, yeah. Or they're made from natural silk, which is itself a continuous filament spun by the silkworm. These filament yarns, because they start from those long, smooth fibers, typically produce smooth, strong fabrics, often with a beautiful drape.
So let me see if I've got this. If you're holding something soft and fuzzy, flannel shirt, wool sweater, fleece blanket, you're likely feeling the magic of short staple fibers turned into spun yarn. And if it's sleek and strong, maybe a shiny curtain, a durable outdoor jacket, or a delicate silk scarf, it's probably filament fibers making up filament yarn. Is that about right?
That's a perfect summary, yeah. This initial understanding really helps us appreciate why different materials have such distinct characteristics.
Yeah.
It all starts at the fiber level, whether it's short and fluffy or long and smooth. It's the fundamental building block that sets the stage for everything that follows in the world of textiles. It dictates the look, the feel, the resilience, how it interacts with light, everything.
Okay, now that we know what fibers and yarns are and how they relate, let's explore where they actually come from, their origins. Broadly, you said they fall into two big categories, natural and synthetic.
Exactly.
And this is where we start to really see the incredible diversity in textile sources, right? It's a story that spans millennia of using nature's bounty and, more recently, centuries of human ingenuity.
Precisely. Natural fibers, just like the name suggests, come directly from nature.
Right.
We're talking plants, animals, even minerals sometimes.
Minerals.
Wow. Yeah. They've been used by humans for thousands of years, and they offer these incredible inherent properties shaped by evolution. Synthetic fibers, on the other hand, they're man-made, thoroughly modern, often derived from plastics or chemically altered natural compounds, and they've completely revolutionized what textiles can do.
How so?
Well, they offer specific properties that natural fibers sometimes can't match, or they can replicate those properties more affordably, maybe more consistently.
Okay, makes sense. Let's dive into the natural fibers first. I feel like there might be some surprising sources beyond just cotton or wool.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about gifts from the earth, really. As we go through these, try to listen not just for the name, but for maybe the one or two defining characteristics and how they relate to the fiber's ultimate purpose and feel.
Will do.
We'll begin with plant fibers. These are hugely diverse. They can come from seeds, stems, leaves, even fruits.
And the king, the most widely used plant fiber globally, has got to be
cotton, right? Absolutely. Cotton reigns supreme. It's a staple fiber, remember, meaning its individual fiber lengths vary quite a bit, from a really short 6 millimeters all the way up to maybe 60 millimeters.
That's a big range.
It is. And this variation contributes to its immense versatility. It allows it to be spun into everything from fine, smooth shirting fabric to thick, absorbent towels.
Right.
You'll also find processed versions, like shiny cotton. That undergoes a special treatment to give the cloth a look that resembles satin, gives it a polished, almost lustrous appearance.
Interesting.
Then there's the famous Egyptian cotton, Highly prized. It's known for its extra-long staple, meaning its individual fibers are exceptionally long and strong.
Ah, so back to the length thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This quality makes it favored for luxury and upmarket items. The longer fibers contribute directly to its superior strength, its incredibly soft feel, and it pills less. And, as the name suggests, it's primarily produced in Egypt.
So cotton isn't just cotton. There's a whole spectrum of quality and use there. What about some of the more obscure or specialized plant fibers? You mentioned some surprising sources.
Well, okay, there's kapok. It comes from these fluffy, silky fibers that surround the seeds inside the pods of the Java kapok tree.
Okay.
Interestingly, it's actually too brittle to be spun into a fiber for weaving fabric.
Oh. So what's it used for?
Well, its natural buoyancy and resistance to water absorption make it ideal for cushioning, like in pillows, old-style life preservers, or even as insulation. It's a great example of a fiber that doesn't make it into fabric, but serves a crucial purpose in textile products because of its unique physical properties.
An essential, maybe unsung fiber for comfort and safety.
Yeah.
Cool. What's next on our plant-based journey?
Next up is flax, which you probably know better as linen once it's processed.
Ah, yes. Linen.
This one's incredibly significant because it's the oldest fiber known to be woven into fabric. We're talking archaeological evidence pointing to its use tens of thousands of years ago.
Wow.
It typically has a grayish color in its raw state, but gets this distinct silky luster once processed. Its fiber length is quite long, generally 300 to 600 millimeters, averaging around 18 inches.
And what makes linen special, property-wise?
It has some unique qualities. It reflects heat better than cotton, which is why it feels remarkably cool against the skin, perfect for summer clothes.
Definitely.
It also holds its color longer under strong light, so it resists fading. Because of these properties, it's widely used in home and commercial furnishings. Think wallpaper or wall coverings, upholstery, window treatments. Imagine a wall covering that not only looks elegant, but actually helps keep a room cool. That's the magic of linen at work.
That's a great practical example. It helps you picture it. Okay, what about jute? I know that from things like burlap sacks, but I suspect there's more to it than that.
You're spot on. Jute resembles flax, but it's made from the stem and stalk of the jute plant. Its fiber is also very long, sometimes reaching several meters. And while you're right about burlap being its most common form, its uses in fine textiles are more limited. You mostly find it in carpet and linoleum backing.
Right.
However, jute possesses some remarkable inherent properties that make it a bit of an unsung hero. It offers natural UV protection, excellent sound and heat insulation, low thermal conduction, and even anti-static properties.
Really, burlap.
Yeah. So your humble burlap sacks or the backing of your carpet are doing more than just holding potatoes or providing a base. They're contributing to insulation, static control, maybe even a bit of sun protection. It really underscores how often nature's earliest materials still outperform many modern innovations in specific areas.
Who knew burlap was so high-tech? It's amazing how much is hidden in plain sight. Okay, what about hemp? That's definitely a fiber that's seen a resurgence lately.
Hemp, yeah. Derived from the cannabis sativa plant. Historically, it was a very coarse fiber, originally used almost exclusively for utilitarian things, ropes, twine, sturdy sacks.
Right, very rough stuff.
But modern innovation and processing techniques have really transformed it. By blending hemp with other fibers like cotton or silk, manufacturers can make the resulting fabric significantly softer, more pliable.
Ah, blending is key.
Very much so. This has opened up its uses dramatically. Now you can find it in things like tablecloths, fine upholstery, bed sheets, duvets, even dish towels. It's a testament, really, to how human ingenuity can take something once only used for rough utilitarian purposes and transform it into comfortable, even luxurious home textiles.
That's a powerful story of material evolution, how a fiber can kind of reinvent itself. Now, manila hemp, is that different from regular hemp?
Yes. Quite distinct. Manila hemp, also known as abaca, comes from a specific type of banana plant native to the Philippines.
Okay.
Its fiber lengths are incredibly impressive, varying from 1 to 3 meters. Makes it one of the longest natural fibers.
Wow.
It's known for being very strong, having great luster, and it's remarkably resistant to damage from salt water.
Ah, so good for marine uses.
Exactly. Durable marine ropes, but also things like cabana matting, distinctive wall coverings, wainscoting, even creative landscaping design pieces. So next time you're relaxing at a tropical beach resort, that matting under your feet might just be abaca, silently resisting the salt and sun.
That's a surprising connection. Okay, and Rami. I haven't heard much about that one, but the name sounds interesting.
Rami is an intriguing fiber, yeah. often used as an inexpensive substitute for flax, sometimes called China grass or grass linen.
Okay.
What makes rayon stand out is that it's an exceptionally strong fiber, even stronger than cotton, especially when it's wet.
Stronger when wet. That's unusual.
It is. It also boasts a natural luster comparable to silk, giving it a beautiful sheen, and it has inherent resistance to bacteria and molds. Its true power often comes out in blends, though. When blended with high-quality cotton, it significantly enhances luster, strength, and helps with color retention. Mixed with wool, rayon adds lightness and minimizes shrinkage. And when blended with rayon, it helps offset rayon's low wet strength, improving the overall durability. This fiber is truly a blender's dream. It enhances the properties of other materials significantly, creating new textile possibilities.
A real team player in the fiber world. Okay, what about natural rubber? That sounds completely different from plant stalks and leaves.
It is. Natural rubber fibers have been around since the 1920s. They're extracted from the latex of rubber trees.
Right.
They're unique among natural fibers because of their inherent high elasticity. They're super flexible, and they're impermeable to both water and air. Makes them excellent for stretchy materials where maybe breathability isn't the main concern.
So it's like a natural tech fabric.
Pretty much, offering incredible stretch and barrier properties long before synthetic elastomers like spandex were widespread.
That's quite versatile. Are there any other notable plant fibers we should touch on quickly?
Yes, maybe two more, particularly from the Philippines. Juicy and pina.
Okay.
Juicy is a fine, transparent fabric. Traditionally woven from silk and pina threads, though historically banana leaf fibers were also used in its making, lending it a unique character. It's famously used in the Barong Tagalog, the elegant national costume of the Philippines.
Right, I've seen those. Beautiful.
And pina, on the other hand, is made specifically from the leaves of a pineapple plant.
Pineapple leaves. Seriously?
Seriously. The process is quite labor-intensive, involves scraping the fibers from the leaves, but it produces this delicate, translucent, yet surprisingly strong fabric. It's sometimes combined with silk or polyester to create fabrics with even more unique characteristics, blending natural elegance with maybe some synthetic durability.
Incredible. Pineapple shirts. Who knew? Okay, that's an amazing amount of variety just from plants. Now let's pivot to another natural kingdom that gives us some really prized and protective fibers. Animal fibers.
Right. Animal fibers are also incredibly diverse and have been prized for centuries, usually for their warmth, softness, and unique textures. The most common, of course, is wool, typically from domestic animals, usually sheep. Wool fibers can vary significantly in length, maybe from just an inch up to 18 inches, depending on the breed. Their natural color ranges from pale neutral tones to dark brown, though it's often dyed, of course. Important properties include its excellent resistance against abrasion, its natural crimp, that waviness which gives it bulk and insulation.
The warmth factor.
Exactly. And its pleasingly soft feel. It's also highly blendable with other fibers. However, it has virtually no resistance to alkalis. Meaning harsh detergents can damage it. That's why wool garments usually need gentle washing or dry cleaning.
Got it.
Crucially, though, wool burns slowly and is self-extinguishing. It tends to char and stop burning rather than bursting into flame.
That's a big deal for safety, right?
It's a significant inherent safety benefit, yeah. Especially in home furnishings like carpets and upholstery.
That self-extinguishing property is a huge advantage.
Okay, beyond sheep, what about other animal hairs that become textiles?
Many animal hairs contribute, often adding a touch of luxury or unique performance. We see fibers from camel, goat. Mohair comes from the Angora goat, known for its luster. Alpaca, llama, the incredibly rare vicuna.
Vicuna sounds fancy.
It is. Very rare, very expensive. And even horsehair for specialized applications like durable upholstery or brushes. Among these, cashmere, from the unassuming Kashmiri goat, stands out. Known as the fiber of the kings, due to its exceptional fineness, softness, lightness, and incredible warmth, makes it highly luxurious and quite rare. And pashmina, is that the same thing?
Closely related. Pashmina is technically the finest wool shorn from the incredibly soft undercoat of specific Himalayan mountain goats. While often called wool, it's really a specific type of cashmere known for its extreme fineness and warmth, often used in those exquisite shawls.
So many types of hair, each with its own story and feel, especially the luxury ones from specific animals. Okay, now for what many consider the absolute epitome of luxury and beauty. Silk fibers.
Silk is truly remarkable. Almost feels magical, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's taken from the cocoons of the silkworm. And it's widely considered the most beautiful of all fibers because of that marvelous natural luster and its smooth feel or hand.
And it's one long fiber.
Incredibly long.
Yeah.
The average length of a single silk filament is an astonishing 600 yards. Makes it one of the longest continuous natural fibers.
Wow. Any downsides?
It is inherently delicate. It can disintegrate or discolor if exposed to strong light for too long, so silk drapes need careful placement, maybe lining.
Good tip.
It also exhibits this quirky property called hiking. It swells slightly when it gets damp and then shrinks as it dries. It can be a challenge for designers and for care.
Hiking. Weird. And there are different grades or types of silk, too, aren't there? It's not just one thing.
Oh, definitely not. It's like a whole family reunion under that umbrella. That's a great way to put it. Each type of silk has distinct characteristics based on how it's harvested or processed.
Okay, like what?
The organize, or thrown silk, is the finest cultivated silk yarn, made from the longest, most continuous filaments. Results in the smoothest, most lustrous fabric, what we typically think of as luxurious silk.
Right, the really shiny stuff.
Exactly. Then you have tram, spun silk, or barrette. These are made from shorter silk strands, maybe from damaged cocoons or waste silk. So they have less luster, a slightly rougher sheen, but they're more affordable.
Okay.
Tussa is a wild silk. Comes from silkworms that feed on oak or other trees in the wild, not cultivated on farms.
Oh, wild.
Yeah. Gives it a naturally rougher quality, often a light brown or tan color, sometimes with visible irregularities. Dupian silk is quite unique. It's made when two silkworms spin a cocoon together.
Two worms, one cocoon.
Yep. Results in a naturally thick and thin, slightly irregular or slubby texture that adds character.
I think I know that look.
And finally, Thai silk. Produced from the cocoons of Thai silkworms, using traditional methods. It's considered one of the finest fabrics in the world, renowned for its distinct, slightly crisp texture and beautiful, rich sheen. So many types, each with its own story and feel.
It's incredible the variety just from silkworms.
Okay.
Something completely different. Mineral fibers, you mentioned these earlier. How do they fit into textiles?
Mineral fibers are quite distinct, yeah. They're typically composed of metal, or maybe metal that's been coated with plastic, or even a plastic core completely coated with metal.
Okay.
A key property is that they're engineered not to tarnish, so they maintain their shine, their main use, mostly for sparkle and decorative effect, lending glitter and shimmer to other textiles.
Ah, like in fancy clothes or decorations.
Exactly. Think of the metallic threads woven into decorative fabrics for upholstery, elaborate evening wear, or festive tapestries, just for that extra shimmer and visual pop. They add a unique aesthetic, rather than contributing much to bulk, warmth, or strength.
Fascinating. So, we've explored nature's incredible bounty, plants, animals, even minerals. Now let's talk about human innovation. Synthetic fibers. These are truly modern marvels, right? Born from science and engineering.
Indeed. These are fibers that are entirely man-made, created through complex chemical processes, thoroughly modern, often derived from petroleum-based plastics, or at least from highly processed natural compounds.
And why were they developed?
Often to offer specific properties that natural fibers couldn't provide, or to replicate desirable characteristics more affordably and consistently. They fill crucial niches where performance, durability, and cost-effectiveness are really important.
Okay, so let's break them down. We have cellulosic or semi-synthetic fibers first. What exactly does semi-synthetic mean? Is it like a hybrid?
You can think of it like a hybrid, yeah. Or maybe more precisely a regenerated fiber. Semi-synthetic means they start with a natural base, typically cellulose, which is the main component of plant cell walls, often sourced from wood pulp.
Okay, so plant-based start.
Right. But then they undergo significant chemical processing to transform that cellulose into a new usable fiber. A prime example is rayon.
Ah, rayon. I know that one.
It's a manufactured, regenerated cellulose fiber, originated from the pithy sections of plant stalks or wood. It was famously called poor man's silk, or artificial silk, back in the day.
Why is that?
Because it could mimic silk's beautiful drape and luster at a much lower cost. However, it typically has low resiliency, meaning it wrinkles easily and doesn't bounce back well from creasing.
Right. Wrinkles are a pain.
Yeah. You often find it as the woven backing of velvet, which might have a face of nylon, cotton, or silk, or in linings where its drape is valued but wrinkles maybe matter less.
And then there are acetate and triacetate, both developed by Celanese core, the notes say. Are they similar to rayon?
Yes, they're also cellulose-based, chemically altered to create new fibers. Acetate is known for being flexible, which results in fabrics with excellent draping qualities and a kind of silken feel.
Nice drape.
But it's easily damaged by heat and wrinkles, relatively easily. So you have to be careful with ironing. It's sometimes mixed with wool, silk, or cotton to add drape and luster. You see it in draperies, carpets, upholstery, where maybe heat exposure isn't a big concern.
Okay. And triacetate.
Triacetate is a more advanced version, you could say. It offers significantly greater stability and abrasion resistance compared to acetate. It's frequently used for textured knits and tricots, think performance wear or some home textiles.
What are its good points?
It shares that silky luster and feel, takes color really well, has moderate moisture absorption, plus it offers good heat retention and elasticity, making it very suitable for fabrics that need to hold pleats.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. There's a fascinating side note about these semi-synthetics that connects to today's big conversations, doesn't it? Sustainability, environmental impact.
Absolutely. This raises that really important question. Can we have high-functional fabrics that are also sustainable? What's fascinating here is that these semi-synthetic fibers, like triacetate, are attracting significant attention as environmentally friendly options, precisely because of their composition and their unique life cycle.
So...
Well, while they are chemically treated during manufacturing, they are ultimately plant-derived fibers. The cellulose often comes from sustainably managed wood pulp, and critically, they can biodegrade when left in nature.
Ah, so they break down.
Right. Triacetate, for example, is made by chemically treating cellulose with acetic acid. This makes it versatile and durable during its use, but it's capable of returning to the earth afterwards. It demonstrates how science and textile innovation are actively trying to bridge that gap between performance, affordability, and environmental responsibility. It's a step in a more sustainable direction.
That's a really compelling point, showing how innovation can solve for both performance and planetary health.
Okay, so moving on from the semi-synthetics, let's delve into the non-cellulosic or fully synthetic fibers. These are entirely man-made, right? Built polymer by polymer. Exactly. These are polymers created almost entirely through chemical processes, offering range of properties often impossible to find in natural fibers, or maybe replicating them with enhanced performance. First up, a big one, nylon.
Nylon. Stockings, right? But much more, too.
Oh, much more. Nylon is the generic name for a whole family of incredibly strong synthetic plastics called polyamides. It's renowned for its incredible tensile strength, exceptional durability, and outstanding elasticity and resilience. A true workhorse.
Yeah.
From sheer hosiery and swimwear to rugged carpets and industrial ropes. Nylon's introduction in the mid-20th century was truly revolutionary. Changed how we thought about clothing and household goods.
What about acrylic? I often see that in throws or sweaters trying to look like wool.
That's exactly what it's designed for. Acrylic is specifically made to be mechanically baulked, often through crimping, to create an insulative, fluffy, wool-like effect, sometimes called a warm hand.
Yeah.
It's highly resistant to sunlight and oil-borne and airborne dirt, making it quite durable for certain uses. It's also very light, which adds comfort. But static electricity and pilling can sometimes be problems if it's not properly finished.
And for furniture.
When used for furniture, acrylic usually have a rougher feel, a rougher hand than plant-based textiles, because it's essentially plastic that needs heavy texturizing to simulate that softer feel of natural wool. So you often find acrylic textiles on outdoor furniture, or maybe cheaper indoor furniture, where its durability and resistance to the elements are highly valued.
Ah, okay. So that wool throw that feels a bit plasticky might be acrylic.
Could be. Trying its best to mimic nature, but offering distinct advantages in cost and outdoor resilience.
That explains a lot. And mode acrylic, is that like modified acrylic, an upgrade?
It's a distinct fiber, yeah. Shares some characteristics with acrylic, but with key differences, especially in its chemical structure, which enhances performance. It's highly resistant to acids and alkalis, so it's chemically stable. But crucially, it's inherently flame-resistant.
Flame-resistant? How?
It self-extinguishes, doesn't melt and drip when exposed to flame. This makes it commonly used in safety applications like firefighter vests, but also in draperies, carpets, rugs, casement cloths, where fire safety codes are strict.
Okay.
Acrylic fibers are soft, strong, resilient, dimensionally stable. They dye easily to vibrant colors, hold their shape well, very versatile for functional uses where safety and durability are key.
What about olefins? I hear that term a lot with carpets. Seems like they're everywhere.
Olefins, primarily polypropylene or polyethylene, are indeed relatively inexpensive and very popular as carpet fiber, but their uses go much further.
Like what?
Numerous advantages. Excellent strength, superior color fastness because the color is often integrated into the polymer before it's spun into fiber.
Ah, so it doesn't fade easily.
Right, and comfort. They offer strong resistance to staining, mildew, abrasion, sunlight exposure. They have good bulk and cover, which makes carpets feel plush and durable, resisting crushing.
See beyond carpets.
Oh yeah, carpet tiles, carpet backing, but also upholstery, draperies, wall coverings, slip covers, other floor coverings. Really versatile for high traffic areas and outdoor applications due to that exceptional resilience and resistance to moisture and chemicals.
And then the ubiquitous polyester. Everyone knows polyester.
Yeah.
But what are its specific strengths and weaknesses that make it so pervasive?
Polyester is undeniably a textile powerhouse, a true workhorse. It's incredibly durable, strong, lightweight, flexible, highly resistant to shrinking and wrinkling, very low maintenance, and easily dyed to a vast array of vibrant colors.
Sounds great. What's the catch?
Its biggest disadvantage is that it's generally not very breathable.
Right. Can feel clammy.
Exactly. Can be uncomfortable in warm conditions, especially next to the skin. Despite this, its uses are incredibly widespread. Bed sheets, tablecloths, curtains. As upholstery, its water resistance and resilience make it excellent, very durable for furniture. For rugs and carpets, polyester's high tensile strength makes it incredibly tough and long-lasting. Stands up to heavy wear. So, yeah, despite the breathability issue, polyester revolutionized mass fashion and home goods, made durable, easy-care items accessible to everyone. And that weakness, it spurred a whole new wave of research into moisture-wicking technologies.
It's everywhere, doing so many jobs, often unnoticed. Are polypropylene olefins different from regular olefins or just a more specific type?
Polypropylene olefins are a more specific type within that broader olefin family. They represent a newer development, offering one of the most economical fibers on the market. They're notably the lightest commercial carpet fiber.
Lightest. Does that matter?
It makes them easier to handle and install, yeah, while still being remarkably durable and wear-resistant. This combo lightness, durability, cost-effectiveness makes them highly attractive, especially in commercial flooring.
And glass fiber. That sounds like something from science fiction. Fiber made of literal glass.
It's very real and quite remarkable. Glass fiber is literally glass produced in fiber form, usually by extruding molten glass through tiny holes.
What's it good for?
Incredible properties. Inherently resistant to flame, won't burn or support combustion. Crucial for fire-resistant textiles. It's also very strong, doesn't absorb moisture, so it's dimensionally stable and resistant to chemical attack.
Wow.
In bulk form, glass has hardness, transparency. As a fiber, it offers strength, flexibility, stiffness. These qualities make it suitable for specialized applications, high-performance insulation, fire barriers, even reinforcing composite materials like in boats or cars.
What about polyamide nylon? Is that just another name for nylon, or is there a subtle difference?
Polyamide nylon is essentially synonymous with nylon. It's a chemical fiber, similar makeup, falls under that broader polyamide family we discussed. Shares many of nylon's traits, doesn't shrink, can resemble the luster, weight, color, feel, and drape of silk. Offers a more affordable alternative without silk's shrinkage issues. Often used interchangeably.
And saran. I feel like I've heard that name from older products, like a historical footnote.
Saran was significant in its time, yeah. Primarily composed of vinylidene chloride. Used for outdoor furniture, upholstery, and screening, mainly due to its high crease retention and excellent dyeability.
So why don't we see it much now?
Well, it's largely unaffected by sunlight, resists fading, wrinkles, abrasion. But saran fabrics are quite heavy, which was a drawback. Historically, used extensively for home furnishings, car upholstery, even doll hair.
Doll hair, okay.
It was a trailblazer for high-performance outdoor fabrics. But its higher expense means that olefins and other modern high-performance fibers have largely taken over its applications now. They offer similar performance, lower cost, often lighter weight. Saran paved the way, though.
So it paved the way. And spandex, that's the stretchy one, right? Gives everything its give.
That's the one. Spandex is incredibly useful. Adds revolutionary stretch and recovery to fabrics without significantly altering their appearance or feel, usually blended in small percentages.
Snaps back into shape.
Exactly. High elastic retention.
Yeah.
And easily dyeable. While we often think of spandex for activewear, swimwear, intimate apparel, it's actually emerging more in home textiles now.
Really? Like where?
For making perfectly fitted bed sheets that stay put. Micro beads for pillows that conform to your shape. Even stretchable table and chair coverings for a sleek, tailored look.
Yeah.
So it's not just for your gym clothes anymore. Spandex is secretly making our homes more comfortable and functional.
I can definitely appreciate that in my bed sheets. Finally, aramid. That sounds intense. Like it's designed for extreme performance, superhero stuff.
Aramid is indeed in a league of its own, designed for the most demanding environments. It's a synthetic polymer characterized by incredibly strong heat-resistant fibers.
How strong? How heat-resistant?
Alkalis, acids, solvents have virtually no effect. Extremely high temperature resistance maintains integrity even in intense heat. These exceptional properties mean aramids are mostly used in incredibly demanding applications where protection and durability are paramount. Firefighters' clothing, military body armor, industrial gloves, even spacesuits. Aramid is literally designed for extreme environments. Protecting lives where temperatures are unimaginable or chemical exposure is a constant risk.
Wow. So next time you pick up a garment, feel a carpet, sit on a couch, you'll have a whole new appreciation for the science and the origin story behind it, whether it's from a plant, an animal, or meticulously engineered in a lab.
From a simple cotton shirt to a fire-resistant uniform, delicate silk to a rugged outdoor tarp, it all starts with these incredible fibers, each with its unique strengths and purpose.
So we now know the basic characteristics that make a soft t-shirt different from a high-performance fire suit, or a silk scarf different from a durable outdoor cushion.
Exactly. And understanding these classifications isn't just academic. It empowers you to make more informed choices about the materials you interact with daily, maybe even spot hidden innovations in everyday objects.
Fibers are fascinating, and their origins tell such a compelling story. But how do these individual strands actually become the cohesive, usable fabrics we know and love? It's not always just weaving, is it? I mean, my favorite sweater isn't woven, it's knitted. It feels different.
You're absolutely right. It's definitely not always weaving. There are several ingenious and distinct ways to turn loose fibers into a unified material. And each method imparts completely different properties to the final fabric.
So the method matters as much as the fiber.
Absolutely. The method of fabric formation is just as crucial as the fiber itself in determining a fabric's look, feel, drape, elasticity, its overall performance. It's where the raw materials truly come to life as a fabric.
Okay, let's start with a method that sounds very primal, almost ancient: felting.
Felting is one of the oldest, simplest methods. Predates weaving and knitting by thousands of years. It involves matting fibers together, typically wool or other animal hairs that have scales on their surface, to form a dense, non-woven web.
How do they stick together?
Usually requires moisture, heat, and pressure. This causes the fiber scales to open up, interlock, and tangle irreversibly. The result is this continuous, dense cloth that's firm and slightly fuzzy.
And what's unique about felt?
What's truly unique is that it has no discernible grain or direction, unlike woven or knitted fabrics. This means you can cut it, sew it, drape it without needing to hem it. It won't fray.
Ah, useful.
Very. It's widely used for practical things like wall panels for soundproofing rooms because of its density, also for various decorations, craft items, even some apparel like hats or slippers. So that cool sound dampening panel in your office or a sturdy artisanal tote bag might just be felt. No weaving required, just pressure and interlocking fibers.
That's a practical application I hadn't considered. Fascinating how simple pressure and moisture create fabric. What about film lamination? That sounds much more modern, technical.
It is indeed. Film lamination produces materials in sheet forms, often through industrial processes like extrusion, pushing material through a wide die, or molding or rolling it between specialized rollers. When it comes to laminating fabric, a previously made film, often a polymer like polyurethane or PVC, is bonded onto a fabric substrate.
How's it bonded?
Sure.
Glue. Heat.
Semithermal bonding, using heat to melt and adhere, or using an adhesive, done carefully to avoid damage. The benefits are significant. Lamination primarily preserves materials, protects against staining, fading, tearing.
Right.
Crucially, it also provides enhanced durability and often fire protection. Given its superior water resistance and durability against the elements, film lamination is a fantastic option for outdoor furniture, awnings, even some high-performance apparel. It's where engineering directly enhances fabric performance, making materials resilient in harsh conditions.
Makes perfect sense for outdoor use. Okay, and then there's knitting, which I instinctively associate with soft, stretchy sweaters and socks. How does that work in the grand scheme, especially compared to weaving?
Knitting is very common and incredibly versatile, and distinctly different from weaving. Instead of interlacing two sets of threads, warp and weft, knitting uses machinery with blunt rods or needles to form a single continuous yarn into a series of interlocking loops.
Loops, okay.
This looping structure is what gives knitted fabrics their characteristic stretch, elasticity, and often beautiful drape, allows them to conform to the body or flow gracefully.
So that's why t-shirts stretch.
Exactly. Knits are inherently striking, inviting, and surprisingly easy and quick to manufacture compared to many woven fabrics. They're everywhere. Cushion covers, bed covers, throws, rugs, curtains, sofa covers. Not to mention almost all our t-shirts and activewear.
And within knitting, there are different stitches, right? That's what gives sweaters their unique patterns and feels. It's not just one loop over another.
Exactly right. The unique construction relies on knitting stitches. These consist of vertical rows of loops called wales and horizontal rows called courses. Different stitch patterns create wildly different fabric properties and aesthetics.
Like what?
A plain stitch, for instance, produces a smooth-faced material. Distinct V shapes on the front, horizontal bars on the back, ideal for common knits like t-shirts, jersey fabrics.
Okay.
The rib stitch produces distinct vertical lines or wales on both sides. It makes the fabric highly elastic and reversible. That's why you see it on sweater cuffs, neck bands, sock tops, things that need to snap back.
Right, the stretchy bits.
A tuck stitch is formed by holding one loop on a needle while taking on more loops, then casting them all onto another needle. Creates a textured, sometimes raised effect. And purl stitches involve successive courses drawn to opposite sides of the fabric, leading to a bumpy, ridge-like texture on both sides, like in garter stitch patterns. Each stitch isn't just a pattern, it's an engineering choice, dictating how the fabric behaves and feels.
So the stitch type fundamentally changes the elasticity and texture. What about the construction itself, how it's actually formed on the machine?
Knit fabric construction also varies significantly, impacting the final form and use. A circular knit is made on a circular machine, produces a seamless tubular fabric, perfect for sock bodies, t-shirt torsos, leggings, minimizes cutting waste.
Seamless tubes.
Ribbed fabric, as mentioned, uses two sets of needles for that distinct ribbed surface, enhancing elasticity. Flat outerwear fabrics are made with needles arranged in a straight line, creating flat pieces that can then be cut and sewn into garments like sweaters or cardigans. Similarly, flat underwear uses a machine with only one set of needles, typically for lighter, softer fabrics for close to skin wear.
And even more specifically, there are distinct types of knitted fabric, each with its own characteristics. Can you walk us through some of those? It seems like a lot.
It is a lot, but it highlights the versatility. A double knit uses a double stick on a double needle frame, gives double thickness, same on both sides, very stable, firm, less prone to curling edges.
Okay, starting.
An interlocked knit is an 8-lock knit cloth with a smooth surface on both sides. Clean, refined look, resists unraveling. Jersey is that very common, plain stitch knit, soft, great drape, characteristic stretch, go-to for t-shirts. Knit pile is produced by silver knitting. Extra yarn is knitted into the ground fabric, creating a soft, raised surface, like terry cloth. Milanese knitted fabrics are complex. Warps move in opposite directions. Intricate threading creates a fine, chain-like structure on the face. Very stable.
Intricate.
A plaited knit has one kind of yarn on the face, another type at the back. Allows different aesthetics or functions on each side, maybe a warm inside, smooth outside. Rachel knit is incredibly versatile. Can be made from any yarn, any fiber. Often produces complex, open work, or lace-like patterns.
Lace from knitting. Cool.
Single knit is simply fabric knitted on a single needle machine, basic stretch and drape. Tricot has a thin, often smooth texture made from fine yarns. Common for lingerie, activewear linings, snag resistant. And finally, velour is a knit with properties similar to woven velour, soft, plush surface, deep pile, used for comfy loungewear or upholstery.
It's incredible how many different textures, weights, and uses come from just looping a single thread over and over.
It really is an art form itself. Shows how one fundamental technique can be endlessly adapted.
Okay, beyond felting and knitting, what about braiding? That feels like another ancient technique.
Braiding is indeed another ancient technique. Distinct from both knitting and weaving, it involves interweaving or intertwining 3 or more strands, yarn, cords, other flexible materials to create a narrow, flat, or tubular fabric.
So not like weaving with warp and weft.
Not typically laid out on a loom like that, no. All the strands are usually active in the interlacing process. Think of a braided rope, a hair braid, or intricate trim. And when it comes to materials, certain natural straws are highly prized for braiding, used for millennia to create diverse, beautiful fabrics.
What are some examples of those special braiding straws? What makes them unique?
Well, a common one is baku. Fine, lightweight, often inexpensive straw, dull finish, used in summer hats. Then there's belambutil, finer, lighter, glossier straw from unopened palm leaf stems, more luxurious feel.
Okay.
Leghorn is special wheat grown in Tuscany, painstakingly cut, bleached, hand-worked into straw for fine braiding, known for uniform texture. Milan is known as a very fine, closely braided straw, smooth, dense material, often in higher quality hats.
And Panama hats.
Ah, yes. Panama straw is the creamy-colored tequila straw, primarily from Ecuador, renowned for the iconic Panama hats prized for lightness and durability. And Tuscan is a yellow straw woven from the tops of bleached wheat straw grown in Tuscany, known for delicate texture. These specific straws show how natural materials, skillfully braided, become diverse, beautiful fabrics for hats, baskets, each with its own signature, often reflecting its origin.
Incredibly specific materials for braiding. So it's the technique and the specific raw material. What about twisting? Is that different from braiding?
Yes, twisting is maybe a more general term. Involves intertwining, sometimes knotting, yarns or cords running in two or more directions, typically not in the structured, broad way of braiding or weaving.
So what's it used for?
Making open structures like nets, or decorative knotted pieces like macrame, that form of decorative knotting where cords are tied in patterns. Also foundational for various laces and decorative trims. So think of those intricate macrame wall hangings that's twisting in action, creating open decorative patterns, more about texture than solid fabric.
And finally, what many of us probably think of first when we hear fabric or textile, weaves and weaving. This feels like the most traditional, widespread method.
You're absolutely right. Weaving is arguably the most common, historically significant, and widely varied method of fabric formation globally. It involves the precise interweaving of two distinct sets of yarns, almost always at right angles.
Warp and weft, right.
Exactly. The yarns running lengthwise, top to bottom on the loom, are the warp yarns, held under tension. The yarns running crosswise, interlacing with the warp, are the filling or weft yarns. The specific way these two sets interlace, how the weft goes over and under the warp, defines the weave pattern and gives the fabric its specific characteristics: strength, drape, visual texture.
So what are the basic weave patterns we should know? The building blocks of most woven fabrics we see every day.
There are 4 fundamental weaves that form the basis for most woven fabrics. Understanding them helps you read the cloth you're touching. The simplest and most common is the plain weave.
Okay.
Here, each weft thread simply interweaves with each warp thread over one, under one, alternating, like a basic basket weave. Creates a strong, durable, flat fabric. Uniform surface. Think basic bed sheet, plain cotton fabric, canvas.
Got it. Simple over under.
Then we have the twill weave. Here, the warp yarn passes over 2 or more weft yarns, then under one, and the sequence is offset by one thread from the previous row. Creates that distinctive diagonal pattern or rib on the fabric surface.
Like my jeans.
Exactly. Think denim. That diagonal line is the hallmark of twill, gives it its signature look and strength. Twill weaves are known for durability, good drape, and resisting soiling.
I can definitely picture the diagonal. Okay, what about the famously shiny satin weave? How does that create such a luxurious, smooth surface?
The satin weave is specifically designed to emphasize the continuous weft yarn, or sometimes the warp, in a sateen weave. In this weave, the warp yarn skips over 4 or even up to 7 weft yarns before interlacing under one.
Skips over them?
Yeah. This creates long floats of yarn on the surface, meaning there are fewer interlacing points visible. These long floats reflect light beautifully, giving satin its characteristic smooth, lustrous, unbroken appearance. The secret to satin sheen is how the threads float across each other, maximizing light reflection, creating that luxurious, slippery feel. Minimal interruptions on the surface.
That perfectly explains the sheen. Okay. And what about a pile weave? How does that give us textures like velvet or terry cloth?
A pile weave is created specifically to form loops or bundles of fibers that stand out perpendicularly from the surface of the ground fabric.
Sticking out.
Right. These loops can either be left as loops like in terry cloth towels, great for absorption, or they can be cut, as in velvet or corduroy, creating that soft, raised, textured surface. This construction adds significant bulk, softness, absorption. Makes pile fabrics wonderfully tactile and insulating.
Finally, tapestry. That sounds more like fine art than just fabric, a really complex weave.
Tapestry is indeed a highly skilled, artistic form of textile art, distinct from utilitarian weaving. Traditionally woven on a vertical loom, though floor looms can be used too, composed of interlaced warp and weft threads, warp under high tension.
What makes it different from regular weaving?
What makes tapestry unique is that the weft threads are often discontinuous. They're passed back and forth across part of the warps, or maybe all of them, but only in specific sections to build up an image or design. They don't usually run continuously edge to edge like in regular cloth.
Ah, like painting with thread.
It's exactly like painting with thread. This technique allows for complex pictorial designs. but it requires precise ways to join areas of color where different weft threads meet.
So how do they join those different colored threads in a tapestry to create sharp lines and images? Must be tricky.
It definitely requires immense skill. The source mentions several distinct tapestry join types. There's the interlock join, where threads from adjacent color areas literally wrap around each other on a single shared warp thread. Prevents gaps, creates a strong, clean line.
Okay.
The dovetail join creates kind of zigzag, where adjacent colors meet by sharing a single warp, but alternating which color wraps it. Often results in a slightly textured, serrated edge. The slit juncture is where two areas of color meet but don't share a warp. They turn back around adjacent warps, leaving a narrow vertical opening or slit between them. Creates a very sharp, almost graphic line.
A literal slit.
Yeah. And finally, the diagonal juncture is where colors meet along a diagonal line, often stepping across warps, blending more softly than a sharp vertical slit. Tapestries aren't just pretty pictures. They're masterpieces of weaving technique. Specific, ingenious ways threads meet to form those intricate images and textures, each method producing a unique visual effect.
That's a truly comprehensive look at how fibers become fabrics. From simple felting to the intricate art of tapestry and the everyday comfort of knitting, each method brings its own unique character and performance profile. You can really feel the engineering behind it.
You now understand the fundamental process is giving textiles their structure, whether it's the elasticity of a knit, the robust durability of a twill, or the artistic complexity of a tapestry. Each method is chosen for a purpose, dictating how the fabric performs, looks, and feels. It's that journey from single fiber to cohesive functional material.
So you've got your fibers, you've selected your yarn, you've formed them into a fabric using felting, knitting, or weaving. But it's not quite ready for, your wardrobe or your living room yet, is it? I imagine there's a lot of processing after it comes off the loom or machine.
Absolutely not ready, yeah. When fabric comes off the looms or knitting machines, it's in a raw, unfinished state, often called gray goods or greige goods.
Greige, like gray beige.
Exactly. At this point, the fabric is typically rough, stiff, often full of natural impurities like seeds or dirt, maybe oils from the machinery, blemishes from the manufacturing.
Not very appealing.
Not at all. Finishes are what truly transform these raw materials into the refined, functional, aesthetically pleasing fabrics we actually want. They are the final, crucial touch, the essential makeover that brings a fabric to its full potential.
So finishes are like the fabric's makeover, but are they permanent or do they wear off?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And finishes are actually classified precisely by their durability. It's a key consideration. A temporary finish is, like the name says, very short-lived. Lasts only until the fabric is washed or dry cleaned the first time.
Like what?
Think of maybe a fabric softener effect that dissipates, or a temporary sizing or starch that just washes right out.
Okay.
A durable finish lasts longer than temporary. Its effectiveness persists through multiple washes or uses, but its properties might become unsatisfactory over time, like some initial stain repellents that eventually lose their punch.
Right.
And finally, a permanent finish is designed to last for the entire service life of the garment or fabric. Its effects persist until the material is worn out. Think shrink-proofing treatments or permanent press finishes.
It's like knowing if your car's wax job will last a week, a few months, or its whole life. Defines the expectation.
Brilliant analogy. Exactly that.
Okay, let's break these finishes down. Two main categories, starting with general finishes. These primarily affect the fabric's texture, appearance, basic feel.
Right. These are often about improving the aesthetics, making the fabric ready for dyeing, or enhancing the basic hand, how it feels when you touch it. One such finish is beetling, primarily for linen.
Beetling, like the bug.
No. In this process, the fabric is repeatedly hammered, its yarns flattened by wood mallets. This physical action gives linen that characteristic, hard, flat, lustrous appearance. Enhances its natural sheen, makes it smoother.
Okay, hammering linen. Got it.
Another fundamental general finish, bleaching, makes the fabric uniformly white, removes natural pigments, impurities, residual dyes, essentially creates a clean, neutral canvas for later dyeing or printing, ensures colors appear true.
A necessary step before color. What's calendaring? What effects does that create?
Calendaring is a versatile mechanical finish. Involves passing fabric between heavily heated, polished rollers under pressure.
Like a giant iron.
Sort of, yeah, on a grand scale. It can create various effects depending on the rollers. Can simply make the fabric smoother, more lustrous. Can produce a highly glazed, shiny surface, like chintz. Or with embossed rollers, it can press patterns into the fabric, giving it a raised, textured design like wallpaper.
Interesting.
Crabbing is a pre-treatment, typically for wool. Fabric passes over rollers in hot water or steam, sets the weave, prevents shrinkage or distortion later in dyeing or finishing. Similarly, destalocating or decatizing involves winding fabric onto a perforated drum, treating it in hot water or steam boiler. Further stabilizes the fabric, enhances its hand, locks in dimensions, especially important for wool and synthetics.
Sounds like a lot of heat and water involved in getting fabrics just right. What about fulling? That sounds like it makes something feel fuller.
It does exactly that. Fulling is primarily a pre-shrinking process, especially for wool. Involves moisture, heat, friction, pressure. Causes the wool fibers, with their scales, to interlock and shrink. Makes the fabric significantly denser, thicker, more compact. Increases warmth, durability, why wool felt is so firm. Then there's mercerizing. Very important chemical finish, specifically for cotton. Treating cotton fabric with strong caustic soda solution under tension.
Why under tension?
The tension prevents it shrinking too much and aligns the cellulose structure. This process significantly enhances cotton's strength, increases its natural luster, makes it look silkier, brighter, and vastly improves its affinity for dyes. Allows for richer, more vibrant, more permanent colors.
So that's why some cottons feel so much more luxurious and take dye so well. With singeing sounds intense, like burning.
Singeing, also called gassing, is intense but very precise, passing fabric very quickly over jets of flames or white-hot metal plates.
Ooh.
The rapid exposure burns off surface fuzz, lint, protruding fiber ends without damaging the main fabric body. Creates a much smoother, cleaner surface, improves appearance, print clarity, and significantly prevents future pilling, especially for cotton and some synthetics. Then we have sizing or dressing. Filling fabrics with starch, gums, other compounds. Increases strength, smoothness, stiffness, or adds weight. Improves the hand, makes it easier to cut and sew, gives a crisp, fresh feel.
And finally, a big one for dimensional stability, tentering.
Tentering, also called stentering or heat setting, especially for synthetics, uses specialized tentering machines. They hold the fabric by its edges, selvages, with pins or clips, pull it to its proper uniform width while applying heat.
Why pull it?
To straighten it and restore it to precise dimensions. Ensures uniform width across the whole bolt, prevents skewing or bowing. Absolutely essential for maintaining shape throughout processing and for final use. Ensures stripes stay straight, patterns align.
Got it.
These general finishes are truly the unsung heroes, make our fabrics feel soft, look bright, drape right, perform consistently. Without these foundational steps, our clothes and home goods would be stiff, irregular, quick to degrade.
It's incredible how much work goes into making fabric simply look and feel good and hold its shape. But beyond that, some finishes give fabrics superpowers, right? Affecting how they perform in the real world. These are the special finishes, or functional finishes.
Precisely. These finishes are about imparting very specific performance characteristics, enhancing utility, comfort, safety. An antiseptic finish, for example, gives fabric a self-sterilizing quality, inhibits growth of bacteria, including odor-causing germs.
So like for gym clothes.
Exactly. Think activewear, socks, medical scrubs, mattress covers. Benefits hugely from this to maintain hygiene, freshness, reduces need for harsh washing. An anti-static finish is crucial for many synthetics polyester, nylon prone to static electricity.
Annoying thing.
Right, prevents that buildup, makes fabric more comfortable, easier to handle.
And the holy grail for travelers and iron haters, crease-resistant finish.
Indeed. The crease-resistant finish, often done by treating fabrics with synthetic resins that chemically bond with the fibers, makes them remarkably resistant to wrinkling, even after being crushed or folded. Favored for travel clothes, uniforms, easy care garments.
Definitely.
Then there's the incredibly important flame retardant finish. Chemically treating fabric to make it retardant to flame. Doesn't mean it won't burn, but significantly slows ignition and flame spread. Often causes charring and self-extinguishing. Crucial for upholstery, curtains, kids' sleepwear, specialized work uniforms. Safety is key.
Safety first, always. What about a glazed finish? How does that work?
A glazed finish is obtained through both chemical and mechanical means, often applying a resin or starch, then calendaring at high heat. Primarily increases durability, gives a highly shiny, polished appearance like chintz, creates a smooth, hard surface that resists dirt.
Okay. And heat reflectant.
A heat-reflectant finish, also called insulated finish, designed to make fabric suitable for hot or cold weather by reflecting thermal energy. Can involve embedding metallic particles or specialized coatings. Think specialized blackout curtains keeping a room cool in summer, warm in winter, or high-performance outdoor gear regulating body temperature.
And what about combating nature's more insidious forces like mold or moths?
For that, we have mildew-resistant finish. Chemical treatment preventing growth of mildew, mold things that thrive in damp conditions, degrade fabrics, essential for outdoor fabrics, shower curtains, anything in humid environments. Similarly, moth-resistant finish. Chemical treatment, especially for protein fibers like wool, makes them unappetizing or toxic to moths, carpet beetles. Lifesaver for wool rugs, sweaters.
So many ways to protect our textiles. What's napping? I know that feeling, but not the process.
Napping is a mechanical process. Fabric subjected to brushing with wire-covered rollers or brushes raises fiber ends from the surface, creates a soft, fuzzy surface.
Ah, like flannel.
Exactly. Gives flannels, fleece, many blankets their characteristic soft, cozy, warm feel and fuzzy appearance. Creates inviting texture, enhances insulation. Then we have shrink-resistant finish. Critical treatment ensuring fabrics have less than 2% shrinkage and warp and filling directions after washing.
So your clothes still fit.
Right. This pre-shrinking, often called sand-frizing for cotton, prevents frustrating surprises. Essential.
Very practical. And slip-resistant finish.
That's specifically for loosely constructed fabrics, low thread count, where yarns might easily shift or pull apart. Helps prevent warp yarn slipping along filling yarns, stops distortion or unraveling, especially at seams. Adds crucial stability to an unstable weave.
Okay. And for everyday messes.
Soil and stain-resistant finish. Chemical finishes, often fluorine-based, usually for rugs, upholstery, repel soil stains, create a barrier making liquids beat up, roll off, prevents dirt adhering, makes spills much easier to block clean, a must for high-traffic areas, busy homes, an invisible shield.
Yes, a godsend for anyone with kids or pets. And the ultimate convenience finish for clothing, wash and wear.
The wash and wear finish, also known as mini care finish or drip dry finish. Designed to make fabrics dry smoothly, need little or no ironing after washing. Achieved by resins, stabilizing the fiber structure, reducing wrinkle formation. All about convenience. Saves huge time, effort, staple of modern life.
Totally. And finally, water protection. Water repellent versus waterproof.
Two distinct, often misunderstood finishes. A water repellent finish lets fabric breathe, but resists water penetration. Causes water to bead up, roll off, but isn't fully waterproof under pressure. Often chemical coatings lowering surface tension. A waterproof finish, however, enables fabric to shed water under all pressures, completely impermeable, usually achieved by coating or laminating with a non-porous material like a membrane.
So that's the difference between staying dry in drizzle versus a downpour.
Exactly. Makes the material fit for purpose in different conditions.
From fire safety to making laundry easier, resisting stains to keeping us dry, these finishes are working incredibly hard, enhancing daily life in ways we rarely think about, making textiles not just beautiful, but functional, long-lasting, an invisible layer of innovation.
Precisely. Which raises an important question. When you're choosing a textile couch, curtains, shirt, are you considering these invisible layers of innovation, the things giving it specific performance? It's often these specialized finishes that truly make a material fit for purpose, delivering on promises of durability, comfort, safety, convenience.
Wow, okay, what a deep dive. We've journeyed from a single, delicate, hair-like fiber through the ingenious ways they're spun into yarns, then formed into fabrics, felting, knitting, weaving, all the way to the incredible science that gives them their final polish and specialized performance. It's truly mind-boggling how much goes into something as seemingly simple as a piece of cloth we just, interact with every day.
Indeed. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really highlights that the textiles surrounding us aren't just inert, static materials. They are dynamic products of immense natural diversity, human ingenuities stretching back millennia, and continuous, ongoing innovation.
Yeah.
Every thread, every weave pattern, every single finish tells a story of adaptation, discovery, purpose, reflecting centuries of human need for comfort, protection, beauty, efficiency. They're a profound testament, really, to our ongoing quest to shape and improve our material world.
So next time you pull on your favorite jeans or snuggle into your softest blanket or sit on your sofa, even just feel the distinct texture of a curtain or a towel. Maybe pause for a moment. What hidden stories are those fibers telling you? About their origins, their making, the unseen innovations that make them what they are? What does all this mean for how we perceive the everyday objects in our lives, the intricate, often invisible layers of engineering and natural wonder that surround us?
And consider how this intricate understanding of textiles might fundamentally change things for you. Maybe the way you shop, prompting you to look beyond just the surface appearance or price. Maybe the way you care for your belongings, valuing their hidden complexity. Or even how you might think about design, recognizing the immense possibilities within fiber science.
Right.
The world of fabrics is dynamic, it's ever-evolving, deeply connected to our history, technology, and increasingly, are sustainability concerns. What stands out to you about this journey, from the smallest fiber to the most highly functional finished fabric? And how might you now look at the clothes, the furniture, the home textiles in your life differently?